Hello, this is Ted Koulianos with MnDOT's Office of Freight and Commercial Vehicle Operations. We're here at the St. Croix Way Station on Interstate 94 just west of Wisconsin. We're here to see how a scale operates. Let's go inside and check it out. Way stations are an important part of our truck size and weight enforcement efforts. They help protect MnDOT's investments in road and bridge infrastructure by identifying overweight violators. MnDOT owns and maintains 6 way stations around the state, and the Minnesota State Patrol is responsible for their operation. MnDOT issues permits for loads that cannot be reduced and that are still overweight. These trucks must follow specific routes and follow specific travel conditions. Another purpose of way stations is to increase highway safety by identifying defective vehicles and unqualified drivers. In 2014, over 340,000 vehicles were weighed at the 6 way stations. Now let's head inside the St. Croix Way Station and have Commercial Vehicle Inspector Kurt By explain its operation to us.
First of all, what they'll do is they'll come up on the weigh in motion, on the platform, weigh in motion scales down at the entrance ramp. As they come up, there will be another lighting system, and that'll tell them which direction to go. And if it gives them a green light to go to the left, they will go on the bypass lane. If it gives them a red X there and a green to the right, then they are object to come up to the scale. Then at that time, they will keep following up, and as they keep coming up, there will be another set of lights, and it'll tell them which lane to come down of the scales as well. Because there are times we run both scales open on each side at the same time. What I'm doing is basically I'm watching as the trucks come through, and I'm looking at to see if there's any violations by weight-wise, first of all. Then after that, then I also look at the equipment to make sure they're in compliance with proper names on the side of the doors, DOT numbers, annual inspections that have to be done on the equipment as well, and making sure that everything is working on them as they come up through the scale. If we find any violations, then what we end up doing is we will go out and greet the driver. After we greet the driver and collect some information from them, then we send them out to the back lot and we'll conduct an inspection out there. We're not only looking for weight, we're also looking for vehicle violations, such as headlights, flat tires, and so on equipment-wise. One of our inspectors out there right now, he is taking a look at their permits, making sure that they're in compliance within the state of Minnesota. To my side here, I have the first monitor here is watching the traffic as it's coming up to our scale. As it's coming up to our scale, if it starts backing up where it's backing up out onto the roadway, what we can do is we can literally shut the scale down so we're not causing any issues out there. On this one here, you'll see as the truck will be starting to approach to come onto the scale, they were directed from the weigh in motion down at the other end to be directed up to the scale. And then they'll come onto the scale, and then our board outside will tell them to stop when they get into the position that they need to be. On our scale, it's a newer design technique of our scale. Our scale will automatically bring trucks up, and it'll automatically position the truck to have them stopping on the scale. It'll hold them there for a certain amount of time, and then afterwards, then it will release the truck. Right now out here, we've got some oversized loads that were brought up. Oversized loads have to come up to the scale. They have to have all their paperwork available for us to take a look at, make sure that they have everything in compliance. We are making sure that the legal loads of an 80,000 pound truck is legal within on their axles, and then a permitted load is also legal within their permit that they're allowed to be pulling.
Hi, I'm Doug Tufte with MnDOT with the Office of Freight and Commercial Vehicle Operations. I'm going to give you a driver's perspective of coming from Wisconsin into Minnesota, pulling into the way station.
Lights are flashing, so all trucks over 10,000 pounds must enter the way station. Flashing lights on sign indicates that we have to pull into the way station. We are coming up to the weigh-in motion pads. The vehicle weight, speed, and axle spacings are recorded, and the inspector is notified of all this information in real time. The weigh-in motion pads are automatically calibrated from the platform scale ahead. The weigh-in motion sorter system will gather all the information and direct the trucks as needed. To the left is the height detector, which checks every vehicle to make sure they are not over the legal height of 13 feet 6 inches. To the right is a camera that takes a picture of the vehicle. The picture and all other information are sent to the inspectors so they're able to make sure they have the correct vehicle and they know if there are any violations before we arrive. Arrows indicate which lane we are to use. We are directed to the right. If we would have been directed to the left, we would have been able to continue back to the interstate without interruption. We are now able to go either to the south or north scale as both arrows are green. Now we need to wait for the truck ahead of us to clear the scale. The truck ahead of us is okay to go as the sign indicates. Sign says pull on to scale. Now we will pull onto the scale and the system will automatically position us to stop at the correct location. Now we pull forward slowly as the sign indicates. The sign says stop. We stop as the system will automatically position us. As you can see from the sign above, we know, as well as the inspector, what we weigh on each axle as well as our total weight. Sign says, okay, go. Everything is good for us. We are free to continue our trip.
As Chief of the Minnesota State Patrol, Colonel Matt Langer is ultimately responsible for the statewide enforcement of commercial vehicle truck size and weight laws, and it's his staff that operates all weigh stations.
Our fixed scale facilities in Minnesota are vital for the State Patrol as we do everything we can to improve traffic safety on our roads. They also represent an incredible partnership between the State Patrol and MnDOT as we work toward intercepting overweight trucks that are dangerous on the freeways and also damaging our infrastructure. The fixed scale facilities also allow our state troopers and commercial vehicle inspectors the opportunity to inspect trucks and try to do everything we can to intercept drivers or loads or other equipment issues that are dangerous and shouldn't be going down the road.
John Hausladen, president of the Minnesota Trucking Association, which represents 700 motor carriers and allied industries in Minnesota, discusses how trucking companies and weigh stations share a common goal.
Minnesota's trucking companies and weigh stations share a common goal: make the road safe for all users. Minnesota weigh stations help accomplish this by creating a level playing field, holding all trucking companies accountable to the same vehicle and driver regulations. And these inspection results, in turn, help trucking companies improve safety and performance.
MnDOT leadership remains committed to providing facilities and equipment that easily and efficiently identify violators of size and weight requirements. Tim Henkel, Assistant Commissioner of MnDOT's Modal Planning and Program Management Division, explains.
MnDOT is committed to preserving and maintaining our infrastructure as well as providing a safe roadway and bridge system. MnDOT's committed to doing that and to working with our partners and collecting data and working with technology as well as investing to make that a reality by working through the Office of Freight and Commercial Vehicles. On the partnership side, it's important that we continue to work with the State Patrol in making enforcement a reality. It's also important that we continue that partnership through the Commercial Vehicle Interagency Committee, a committee that brings together our partners that include our federal agencies on the freight and highway side, as well as Department of Public Safety and MnDOT. On the data side, it's important that we continue to build robust data that helps to make us fully informed on what the issues are and where the opportunities lie, and to implement technology that gives us the capability to maximize the life of that infrastructure and provide safety wherever possible. And finally, it's important that we invest. And we're going to continue to make investments and have planned investments that will help us to address those issues. Through those strategies, our commitment continues, and we'll be able to continue the partnership, that data collection and technology, as well as investment in that important weigh scale system.
As we've seen, weigh stations are an important part of our overall truck size and weight compliance program. MnDOT remains committed to working with our partner agencies and other stakeholders in developing effective truck size and weight compliance strategies.